Alright, what is going on, everybody? It's Market Monkey Trades here. I hope everyone had a great trading day. Today I'm going over my big supply and demand trade I took today. I took puts off supply. It's going to be a very insightful video, so make sure you stick to the end. And I'm sorry for the background. I'm sitting on the balcony at the beachfront, and it's the palm trees whistling in the back, so you're going to hear that a little bit. I apologize for that. Before we get into the video, of course, first, I just want to go over my Instagram. I post my setups live for you guys on the Insta, my thought process behind it, my entries, exits, all that fun stuff. Market Monkey LLC on Instagram. And then marketmonkeytrades.com. Of course, you can get all my courses and stuff there. Now, let's dive in to the trade I took today. And you can see the market is still flush, and this is because we have big Fed news coming out. But I just wanted to capitalize and show you guys the power of supply and demand from the trade I took today. So first, I just want to go over what I trade. I trade SPY, and to trade SPY, I look at the /ES, which is the E-mini series. It tracks SPY, and I like to trade futures with supply and demand. That's my bread and butter. That's my baby, so that's what I do every day. And I just want to go over supply and demand zones are just levels of interest for me. I'm not going to take a trade at a supply and demand zone every single time because they don't work out every single time. But with the proper knowledge and market context, volume, price action, all that behind it, with other indicators, supply and demand zones can be very powerful, and I'm going to show you that today. So, as you can see here, the ES, it had this supply zone that formed yesterday. Now, normally, supply zones that break through and retest, for me, I like to see a big bounce off the supply and turn into demand. But today, we had a lot of bearish indicators that made this trade very successful. I'm going to show you why. So, when we entered this supply zone, I was looking for volume to come through and for the bulls to step in. But it actually did the opposite. And why I took puts on this, why I knew it was going to flush through the supply zone and end up going all the way back down to demand, is because of a few different things. And that goes back to my notes for today. Patience is essential. You have to wait for your plan to work. And I'm going to skip to this bottom note. Look for other indicators besides your supply and demand zone. So I wasn't just looking at the zone. I was looking at Microsoft, Apple, and NQ, which is NASDAQ. I was looking at Microsoft and Apple specifically because they're SPY's biggest holdings. So they're really what's going to move this market. So I was looking at a couple different things here. I was looking at Microsoft, seeing if it was going to hold this supply zone. If it didn't hold this supply zone and volume was coming in, I knew it was going to be a very good short, because if Microsoft is in a supply zone and Apple's in a supply zone, then I know that's two very bearish indicators for me that this supply zone for the futures is actually going to work out very good in my favor. Also, another indicator I had was the 1400 level. NASDAQ ripped through that 1400 level, which was huge resistance this past week, and completely sliced through that. So that was another indicator for me to take this market short. And guys, again, I just want to tell you that patience is essential. I waited for this trade to form. And don't look at your P&L. Sell when your plan is executed. So I don't look at my P&L. I don't sell when I see profits. I sell when my plan is hit and my key levels are hit. I don't sell when I'm in the red. I sell when my stop loss gets hit. So just know that all this price action in between zones is just noise. It's just noise. That's all it is. So once I had Microsoft line up in this supply zone, Apple in this supply zone, and the futures in this supply zone, I knew it was time for me to take the market short. So I think it's super powerful to play zones when other holders of SPY is also in a zone, or also giving you indicators that this zone on the futures is going to hold up. So I love using other catalysts and other indicators while I'm in a zone to tell me that this zone is going to cause a big reaction and a nice trade. Okay? So it's very important that you don't just blindly get in a trade at a zone because you think the zone is going to work. You have to have other indicators telling you this trade could be valid. And that means price action, volume. I saw SPY's holdings in its own zone, like Apple and Microsoft. I saw NASDAQ breaking this 1400 level. All those indicators were telling me that this zone was going to be valid. And it was. So again, follow your plan, not your profits. The market cools off after momentum. You must wait through these periods. So all this price action in between here is just noise. So this is a very powerful trade I took today. I made some good profits, and I just wanted to recap that for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next